Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is White Wolf. I hope you guys are doing well, and we're going to be doing this live feed. I wanted to talk about just doing what you really want to do, what you aspire to do, what you feel in your heart and your resonance what to do without the fear of restriction, without the fear of failure, and just setting yourself up for victory and not getting your hopes up per se, but to really do what you want all the time without any fear, with the aligned actions, with the aligned perception, and also just directing your steps on how you want to grow and expand and how you really want to change and really want everything to fall into place. But if you just did what you wanted to do and you were efficient and you just wanted to get stuff done and you wanted to get done and you wanted to be over with and you just wanted everything to have a flow and a correlation to everything manifesting itself into this direct experience, if you just allowed yourself to do it without any fear, with the utmost confidence, with empowerment, with sincerity and truth within your heart, you would never go against your heart's desire, and you would never go against what empowers you and what makes you the most fulfilled within your life, and also what lights you up in a sense. So this simple message is to really let you know just to do what the fuck you want without the fear, without the indication that whatever you're going to manifest is not going to work out, but instead knowing that it is going to work out. And if you just do it, and you do it with courage and honor and integrity, then everything in your life will come to you as it needs to come to you. But it's the fear, it's the limitation, it's the lack, it's the unworthiness, it's the things that we put on ourselves that does not allow us to do the things that we want to do, the things that we want to achieve, the goals that we aspire to. But if we just fucking did it without any hesitation or fear or misaligned thoughts and emotions, we would just excel at everything that we do, and we would immerse ourselves in every type of experience with the transformation within ourselves and the transfiguration of the soul, so that we're able to balance out the light and the dark in every aspect, in every which way. And knowing that we are the way, that we're paving a way, that we're making the way, that we are the gateway to other worlds. We just have to really delve deep within ourselves and see why we are not doing the things that we want to do. So why do we restrict ourselves? Why do we not follow our heart? Why do we not follow the direction and the intuition from spirit a lot of the times? Because we're afraid of the mysterious, we're afraid of the unknown, we're afraid of questioning ourselves and going into uncharted territory. So it seems like the fear and the lack and the non-vibratory nature allows us to think and assume what we are not. So the fear of not doing what you want, it could be just going to the movie or feeling like you don't have enough money, enough money to go see a movie. But sometimes you can put it on the divine and say, if I'm so blessed, if I'm so transcendent, if I'm so prosperous, then I'll be able to pay for this movie without the fear that I'm not going to get the money that I need to do other things. Because we all want to enjoy life, but sometimes we're limited by belief, we're limited by how we think about ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, how we go about life itself. And usually it's just finding that algorithm and finding out where the frequency needs to lie, and also how to demolish those dimensional ley lines that have been there for so long and implement new ones, so that we can have this true, direct quantum acceptance within ourselves. And then it makes it more pure, and it makes it more whole, and it makes it more direct over how you want to live your life, just doing what the fuck you want to do within your life without consequence. Now, it's not you being irresponsible, but it's not putting an obstacle or a limitation or something in the way of what you want to manifest and create within your life. So it's not putting an obstacle in front of it. It's not putting something in front of it to where there's hesitation or there's fear or there's lack that comes up or there's misaligned emotions or even something from the past. But then it falls away when you just let it go and you just do it and you just act on it and you don't question yourself. We should always question ourselves and question our position and question who we are and why we're here. But questioning your desires and your passions and the flame that's under you and behind you will always be the limitation that is being brought on you, limited by belief, limited by your thoughts or your thinking, or even how you present yourself. So it could be as simple as picking a specific shirt, and you see that shirt that you've had for years, and it's time to let go of that shirt because it has negative energy attached to it. It's as simple as just changing your routine, changing how you think about something, how you go about your day, changing your regiment so that you're able to fit what you need to accomplish within your day, so that you're more cause-driven and you're more oriented and you're more in the state of flow, in the state of continuation and progression. So that was my opener for this live, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. You can book private sessions with me. It's $120 for 1 hour psychic readings, healings, activations, and I also do lives where I do psychic readings and things of that nature. So if you see me live, take on that, and I have PayPal and Cashapp below there. But that was my opener for this live, and one of the things that was on my heart, and it was something that I just did. I wanted to get 2 workouts in. I wanted to get the dogs fed. I wanted to get a couple things accomplished in an accelerated way, so that I was able to do this live and to give this message because I felt like it was very important. But it's ditching the self-importance, and it's not making that so vivid and alive and a real thing, because that's actually what defeats ourselves when we find all of these little other things so important, and we make it so much, have so much more meaning that it drives away from the actual meaning and how we're supposed to think and how we're supposed to relax into the awareness that is being presented to us, so that we are able to come from a different perspective. So we can live a different life and be a completely different person and have a different aspect of the parallel reality that we're immersing ourselves in. So by doing what you want, you could be collapsing timelines, you could be collapsing experiences, you could be letting go of that dark night of the soul or that gremlin that's holding you back, or even changing the way that you speak, or changing the way that you even present yourself on social media. It could be just really not being afraid to just give the message, and give the message with the intention of knowing what you're saying is pure. Because some people don't like it when people are edgy, or they say something authentic, or they just get to the fucking point of the matter, right? And it just pierces that veil. It allows people to open their eyes. It allows people to think for themselves and to actually act for themselves, and to know that they have the ability of choice and the ability to have the free will to really go after what they want in life. And I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for a specific person, but also if it wasn't for my seeking impulse and me wanting to be accelerated, but also me wanting to have that drive within myself to awaken and to be alive and to be direct and to want to figure out all of these things. But also, I'm not perfect at the end of the day. And I think one of the things that I stress when I do these lives and do these messages is really, you don't have to be a perfectionist. You don't have to control anything anymore. And you don't have to hold on to the things that are attaching you to certain chords and certain configurations of energy and certain frequencies anymore. It could be literally just changing up the frequency. Don't hold yourself to a specific standard. Always hold yourself to the standard that you want to set the bar up on a higher level. So we always set ourselves in certain parameters, in certain ways of thinking and ways of singing and ways of dreaming and affirmation, but it only matters about the passions and the desires that you have within yourself, so that you can absolutely just do what you want. Doing what you want is not putting your wants and needs in the same category, because they are the same thing, but they're not the same at a cellular level. But they are the same thing when you're wanting to purify it and empower it and make it actually real and truthful and vibrant. But it's different when you give it a negative connotation, which is the point that I'm trying to make. If you give your wants a negative connotations, they're your needs. But if you give your wants a positive connotation and empowerment and give it more meaning and more impactful, and you start assuming yourself to be something else as an attractor, not a detractor, but a subtractor, and using your ways of addition, so that you're appreciating everything and having gratuity with your surroundings, so that you're able to multiply and to accumulate within yourself and really make it more impactful, because whatever is inside of you is not your person. It is not the person that's driving this vehicle. So some of you are Lambos, some of you are trucks, some of you are vans, some of you are Teslas. Just be what you want to become. I don't care if it's a knight in shining armor, who gives a shit, right? Because at the end of the day, and I was being playful there because it's from a movie, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what is on the outer appearance. It's about the mysterious, it's about the nothingness inside of you. It's about the emptiness that we're becoming. And now on the outer appearance, some people will look at you and you are a knight in shining armor, but we're not here to be people's saviors, but we're here to guide people and show them the way and allow others to really actually be sensitive, actually be compassionate, and actually have unconditional love within themselves. And I would be absolutely false if I didn't tell you that you can do what you want. Because we're conditioned to always go. We're always conditioned to always go, and never have rest and never receive and always just give. But we have the ability to balance that out for the very first time and to stop and just relax into it and feel it for what it is, the gratuity and the appreciation and the truth of what it is, not the deception of it. Because sometimes what you want and what you desire is not based on an outcome or an image, but it's based on the journey that keeps progressing and keeps emulating that light and keeps having that profound allowance within yourself to have the ability to receive. And, it's funny, a long time ago, I started doing these lives where I'd smoke, and a lot of people didn't like that, and they didn't think it was enlightened. And some people said I copied this other person online. And it was actually John Wayne that allowed me to start smoking these, was because that when he would say something or do something, he meant it because he was the actor of his life. It didn't matter what John Wayne played. He was still John Wayne. He was just another aspect or an essence of the extension of the actor that was being channeled there. So that's why I always make the analogy of being the actor of your life, the producer, the screenwriter, and you're setting the music. Because our life is like a movie, and your movie is like your life. And you have to make it as real and as vivid as you can in order to love it, in order to enjoy it, in order to be a part of it. So, but we can make it even more profound if we just take the extra step that we have control over our lives without being controlling and manipulative. Does that make sense? Because most of the time what human beings do is that they want control over their lives, but they want to dictate the outcome, and they want to make sure everybody else isn't making them mad or making them upset, or the placement is just off. The placement is just off, and if this one thing is off, then they're upset about it, right? But we can't dictate every single thing. Then that's dictatorship, and that's controlling, and that's actually losing control. And it's actually losing your conscious state and losing your direct perception of enlightenment. So the most purified way to do it is that we can't control anything. We have to let go and have faith and have purity in every walk of life and every essence of life. And the essence of life is really just allowing for the unfolding and knowing that it will come. That's the kicker, and that's the faith, and that's what scares us, because we don't like mystery. We don't like the unknown. We don't like things being placed in an awkward position. And sometimes I don't like it. Like I said, I'm not perfect, and I would never want to do one of these messages and lead on with that, because then there's a lot of people who do that. And they think that they never have an emotion, they think they never feel bad, or that they're never clearing things within themselves and really impacting their worthiness and delving deep within themselves. And some people act like they learned everything they needed to learn. And I think that's the most impure thing to be a part of. Because if we feel like we've learned everything, then we are not the container that contains all of it. If we feel like we've accumulated everything within our lives, then we have lost the narrative and we have fallen victim to overconfidence, having to assume a position, having to say that I'm a leader instead of just being one. And always evolving and always being courageous in the way that you evolve and the way that you carry the message and carry the torch within yourself is always what's going to move mountains. It's always what's always going to change a nation and be a voice for the voiceless and allow others to really be themselves instead of indulging with other things that are not worth your time. So it's kind of like, a lot of the times, because I haven't had a lot of friends in the spiritual awakening, and it's an interesting topic to really respect one another's free will, to really respect and honor the divinity within ourselves, and to respect and honor that people are not our objects. People are not our energy. They are their own energy. They are their own source of energy. Does that make sense? Because if I'm talking to you within this camera, I'm not keeping you here, you're listening to the message. So if you wanted to go on and do something within your life and live and have the joy in experiencing your life, then go do that. You don't have to listen to this message. But it would be egoic of me to try to keep you here, to try to keep you listening. That's not pure. That means that when people do that and they have to keep people listening or they have to keep the same people, then we're having an attachment to having our worthiness validated by others instead of evolving. Instead of knowing that we've already been validated, we've already been secure, we've already been pure in the way that we've carried the message, and then we just keep planting those seeds. And as we keep planting those seeds, we keep planting those ways to create and to generate and to be able to let people move on. And I see a lot of my clients who have evolved so much because of not only my service, but also the very fact that they just took my advice. And some of them are doing things that I'm not doing, but we have to be happy for others, right? We have to be happy for the other people who evolve and change because of our service. So it's like this, like Morgan said, but when we don't let go, we are actually giving our power away. That's the absolute truth. If we don't let go of the attachment of being this person, being egoic, only basing our happiness off of others or materialistic things or giving a message and people liking it, then we have lost the narrative. So it was kind of like the topic of, family and friends and romantic relationships. We are agreeing to be a part of that. It's not a point of relation. It's not a point of familiarity. It's not a point of being attached to that person, but it's the essence and the purity and the exchange, the energetic exchange that's between the other people. So we can be our own individuation and come from our own origination and really find out where we come from in our own soul tribe and find our own sense of enlightenment. If you step out among the rest and you shine the brightest and you are able to be of that essence and carry the flame for the future, then it doesn't matter what's going on within life. It doesn't matter if the blower's going on. It doesn't matter what happens. You try to have a good time. That's one of the hardest things to do. No matter what happens in your life, Tony Robbins says this all the time, no matter what happens in your life, you're going to choose to live in a beautiful state. That's the test. That's the most difficult thing to do. It's hard because it presents something that we're not able to always do, but we learn how to do it. Now, some people, they want to live in a state where it brings them the most unfulfilled and misaligned thoughts and emotions, and they want to dwell within that. That's dwelling and indulging. And it's kind of like, I noticed when I would get upset, I would not eat. And some people are different. They get upset and they eat a lot, right? So it's kind of like that. We can choose to keep eating. We can keep choosing to eat the earth's shit, or we can choose to be fed up with it and just move the fuck on and just do what you want to do when you want to do it without any obligation, without any consequence, without any perceived notion of resistance. Just doing what you want and living accelerated and just going with the flow and letting go completely so that you can be of that light, that transfiguration, and that ability to push through the boundaries that bind us and keep us locked in. So we're going to do some healing energy. So I hope you guys stay tuned. Also, I want to let you guys know that if you want to book private sessions, it's $120 for a private session. And we're going to be doing healing energy as well, because I've been going back to my healings because I feel that a lot of people need it. And I feel like it's more of the worthiness, but also the ability to feel good, because all healing is self-healing. The mechanics of healing is really understanding that you're being the instrument that conducts the healing, but the healing is not necessarily coming from you, but it's being channeled through you. The healing is being channeled through you, and it's because of your ability to allow it to be flown through you. We're going to do the Kundalini energy. This is the energy of release, and then it's complete transformation. So release, and then transform, elevate, and ascend to the highest form of the I Am Presence. So we're going to develop the quantum mechanics and being able to transverse the human condition, transform our ideas, transform the way that we go about life, and to imbibe this healing energy and to accept this healing energy as an extension, as an offering to the universe, to hold space for the universe, that archangels of love and light who's willing to cleanse me in my auric field, tapping into God's first energy and the great I am, diving deep in Middle Mother Gaia Earth, and grounding back into the earth, and grounding back into your chakras, and really just having the ability to activate our chakras, having the ability to receive these energetic codes and to pull from the cosmic codex and the sensations of God, the vibrations of God, and the emulation of the light and the dark becoming one. So infuse spirit within your day. Every day that you do this, then you're one step closer to being a part of something, being included in something, being a part of yourself for the very first time. Really using that ability to use your inner child as a way of imagination, as a way of not taking life so seriously, but allowing yourself to be accepted and to see the beauty that you are, but also just having the ability to do what you want at a snap of a finger, at a drop of the hat, that you just do what you want to do, and that you are that immovable force. You are the wind. You are the light that is crashing in. You are that what you want to become, even if you don't realize it. Even if you don't feel like it most of the time. But it's just you one step closer coming back into balance with it. So we're going to be healing the ears so that you are able to have a radio frequency within yourself. And we're also going to be healing the nose. So if you felt stuffy or you felt congested, we're healing the nose as well. And also healing the throat chakra. And Black Panther energy is coming in very strongly. So Black Panther is kind of like an ayahuasca ceremony. So the Black Panther is working with us to help us clear our system, to give ourselves a bit of a detox. But to see ourselves as brothers and sisters, but to see ourselves doing the things that make us the most happiest, knowing that our happiness is our success, that we don't base our success on others' happiness, or just feeling happy, or feeling like this thing needs to happen for you to be happy, but just making the choice to embrace free will, that you have the ability to just be joyous, courageous in the midst of everyday life. That you can make that choice to be enlightened, to go with your heart, to go with your desires, to have a passion and a flame and a desire to do the things that you want to do. Not the things that you need to do, because then that's dread. That's putting an obstacle on it, that's putting a limitation on it, that's putting a problem with it instead of a resolution. Expectations are not the same as appreciation. But your wants and your needs can be met equally, so that there is equality there. And in this moment, just cup your hands in blessing, as if water is being poured into the hands instead of, sometimes when we're really hot, we drink out of the hose, which is okay. But sometimes cupping your hands and putting the water to your mouth is more of a blessing than just kind of drinking out of the hose, in a sense. But just cupping your hands in blessings and to accept that water, accept the water of life, the breath of the divine, the amazement of God's energy within your existence, so that you're able to appreciate. in the beauty that you feel within yourself in the silence. And just holding space. And just relaxing for a second will open up so much for yourself. It will feel as if you've taken a burden off of yourself. And it will just feel as if you're basking, that you're just marinating in that serenity. That you will find the serendipity in everything that is simplistic, but also in the things that seem complex. But you won't get muddled within the details. That there will just be this purity, this authenticity within yourself, this beauty that we all have inside of ourselves. And it's just waiting for us to cut the tension with a knife and to really just do what we want to do and just ascend higher to the pyramid, which is just always elevating the energy. But if we wanted to make it more profound, then we can think of it as sacred geometry, as Metatron's cube, to where we encompass the pyramid, we encompass the trapezoid, the circles, and knowing that we are coming full circle. But we encompass all shapes and sizes, and that it has direct meaning over fertility, self-empowerment, the feminine, the masculine, but also free will, the Merkaba, free will itself, and universal love. So in these final moments, just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to maintain the state. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes and feel refreshed. And feel that the tension or fear or anxiety or limitation, but complete worthiness is here for us all to accept. And so it is. And that's what's beautiful about healing energy, is that it just gets to the heart of the matter. And one of the first things that I started when I started doing these was healing energy itself. And that's really all I did for a long time. Because I was very pessimistic when I was in middle school, more grade school, and then middle school I kind of got tired of taking crap and being pessimistic, but I still have that within myself. But the worthiness and the wholeness and the acceptance of truth and the acceptance over the person that's looking back at us. And that's why healing energy and doing what you want and empowering yourself is always the best policy. Because it gives it so much more meaning, but you're not putting too much meaning on it. But also you're changing the conditioning and accepting transformation so that there is a complete balance of the masculine and feminine, a transfiguration of the light and the dark. And that's what's pure about it. And that's what's beautiful. Oh, knocking stuff over. That's the best. So I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this live. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your gifts. Also, you guys can book private sessions with me. This is White Wolf. And also, if you enjoyed the healing, I hope that it was beneficial for you, and whatever you resonated with, take what resonates and what doesn't, and just throw it in the trash. And at the end of the day, just follow your own intuition and follow your own guidance and follow your own love and light journey. And then that makes everything as pure as it can be if you're just following your peace, following your journey, following the narrative of your enlightenment. So thank you guys so much. God bless. Namaste. And until next time, this is White Wolf signing off, and so it is. God bless.